would like to welcome all of you to the head office of the National Commission for Civic Education. This morning we are meeting the press. Madam is going to address us. That is why we are here. I want us to start with an opening prayer, and I would like to call on Brother Samuel Bano to give us the opening prayer. Evans.
So we bow our heads and pray, please. Gracious Lord, thank you very much for a gathering as important as this. We're here to discuss things in the interest of Ghana. At the end of the day, Father, I pray the less visions be realized in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Evans. Is there anything you want to correct? Yeah, colleagues, are you okay? So I will humbly ask that we all rise up so that we will recite and sing the Ghana National Anthem. Here at NCCE, this is one of the things we do because we value our national anthem as one of the national symbols. And on that note, I will give the tune, then we'll all sing. Just the first stanza. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Ready? Sing. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, both to defend forever the cause of freedom and of rights. Fill our hearts with true humility, make us cherish fearless honesty, and help us to resist oppressors with all our will and might forevermore. And help us to resist oppressors with all our will and might forevermore. Thank you very much. Can I request that those of you behind should occupy your front seats? Okay, so Madam Chair, we extended an invitation to several media houses, and I would like to inform you that these are the media houses present this morning. We are still expecting more. We have the state broadcaster GTV here. GBC Radio is also here. We have Daily Guide. We have Think News Media. We have Metro TV. We have Asansi Radio. We have TV3. We have the Chronicle, Ghana Web, Channel 1 TV, and Peace FM. I know we have GNA2 in the house. Join me, please. That means you've not registered, so please do register. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I also like the media to also know the officials from NCCE present here. We have some line directors and commission members with us. I would like to introduce Madam Abuna Boediwa. She is the Deputy Director in charge of Finance. Abuna, please let's see. Next to Abuna, we have our Director Administration, Mrs. Dora Hammond. The next person is Dr. Henrietta Asante-Sapon. She is our Director in charge of Research, Gender and Evaluation. I'll skip and go to Madam Harriet. She is also a Deputy Director at Finance. Madam Harriet, please let's see you. We also have Vida with us. She's also with Finance. And then next to Vida, we have our Director in charge of HR, Madam Peace Kondo. Next to Madam Peace is our Director of Programs, Dr. Imran Mohammed. From Dr. Imran, I would like to introduce our Commission Secretary, Mrs. Lucille Gillett-Annan. The right after Madam Lucille, we have one of our Deputy Chairmen, Mr. Samuel Asare-Kwama, who is in charge of operations. Mr. Kwama, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our chairperson also here, Ms. Kathleen Addy. Madam Chair, you are welcome. Finance, Madam Monica Mamata. So, Madam, please, we are ready for you.
Members of the press, let's start by saying acknowledging the Chair Finance, Deputy Chair Operations, Commission Secretary and Directors of NCCE, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, and all present. I wish you all a very good morning. I wish you all a very good morning. Good morning. We are pleased to welcome you to this important press conference to brief you on the ongoing 2024 Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues and other activities of the National Commission for Civic Education. These dialogues are important fixtures on the NCCE's election year calendar and fulfill the requirements regarding functions of the Commission as stated in our Enabling Act, National Commission for Civic Education, Act 1993, Act 452. The dialogues are held in collaboration with the NCCE inter-party dialogue committees that are active in every district of our country. These committees are made up of representatives of political parties, traditional authority, security apparatus in the district, religious leaders, local government, and other leadership structures in the district. The NCC is happy to announce the successful commencement of the 2024 Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues across the 275 constituencies of the country. These dialogues are part of an ongoing commitment to fostering an informed electorate and promoting peaceful, issue-based elections in Ghana. The NCCE Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues, PCDs, are platforms for interaction at the constituency level and provides avenues for candidates to articulate their vision and policies for the constituency they want to lead and engage with constituents on issues of national concern. The dialogues are informed by the NCCE Matters of Concern research findings to ensure relevance and effectiveness. Every election year, the NCCE conducts research on matters of concern to the Ghanaian voter. The report is the result of a nationwide survey conducted by the Research Department of NCCE and its impartial fulfillment of Article 233 of the 1992 Constitution. The 2024 edition of the report was launched a few weeks ago and represents a true reflection of what is important to the citizens of Ghana. The Matters of Concern report provides a framework for issue-based political campaigns as required by true democracy. The findings of the MOC are therefore used as the basis for the Commission's Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues held in all the constituencies of the country. The questions and discussions for these dialogues have always been informed by the findings of the MOC report, and this year, 2024, is not different. The focus is on the first 6 priority issues for the voter that respondents have identified as follows. First, education. Second, employment. Third, health. Fourth, roads and infrastructure. Fifth, economy. And sixth, agriculture. These are the top 6 concerns that Ghanaians indicated from the research matters of concern. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the issues that are important to the electorate according to their own self-report. And so these should be the focus of political campaigns, political party activities, especially in this election year, including manifestos. In some constituencies where the dialogues have taken place so far, the NCCE is proud to note the active participation of candidates from the two major political parties that have secured the mandate to govern our country over the course of the Fourth Republic. That is, the New Patriotic Party, NPP, and the National Democratic Congress, NDC, as well as candidates from other political parties and independent candidates. Their participation indicates a shared commitment to deepening democratic governance by engaging the electorate on issues that matter to them. The dialogues provide a fantastic platform for candidates to get as close to the people as possible. It also affords the electorate of constituencies the opportunity to engage the candidates in an organized and regulated environment. Participating in these dialogues gives parliamentary candidates the opportunity to present their policies and visions for their constituencies while also promoting transparency and accountability. This is clearly a win-win situation for all stakeholders. The NCCE believes that these engagements are essential for fostering an informed electorate and ensuring a peaceful, issue-based campaign leading to 2024 elections on December 7th. These dialogues are significant for many reasons, including 1, encouraging civic engagement. The dialogues are constituency-based events that bring residents together to hear and interact with parliamentary aspirants. By involving citizens in the debate or the dialogues, they are empowered to ask critical questions, seek clarity on campaign promises, and make informed choices. This is more meaningful and promotes greater voter participation in elections. 2, enhancing political accountability. During the dialogues, candidates are given the opportunity to explain their plans and policies directly to the electorate, and citizens can hold them accountable on the basis of their responses. This helps to build trust and transparency between the electorate and elected leaders. 3, fostering peaceful elections. Bringing together candidates from various political parties on a common platform encourages a spirit of mutual respect and tolerance. It promotes peaceful coexistence and reduces political tensions, and this contributes to peaceful elections, which we are all crying out for now. 4, strengthening democratic institutions. The dialogues reinforce the role of civic institutions such as the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, in shaping the democratic process by facilitating open, transparent, and accessible platforms for political engagement. 5, bridging the communication gap. Many citizens, particularly those in remote areas, have limited access to information on political candidates and their platforms. These dialogues bridge the gap by providing a direct medium for candidates to communicate their policies to a wider audience. 6, the dialogues give NCCE the opportunity to remind all citizens of the role of parliamentarians in our governance system, and to remind everybody that parliamentarians are not primarily agents of development. They are not the main custodians of everyone's share of the national cake, that is the common fund. They are representatives of the constituents, giving voice to the needs of the people and ensuring that the hopes and dreams and aspirations of the people who elected them are heard in the machine of governance. Parliamentarians are legislators who should be focused on making laws that ensure development of our country and that lead to a just society where there is equal opportunity for all citizens to become the best version of themselves. Parliamentarians are also advocates, highlighting the needs of their constituents and ensuring that those needs are not overlooked. As members of one of the three arms of government, parliamentarians are an integral part of the checks and balances mechanisms built into our governance structure. 7, perhaps one of the most important impacts of the parliamentary dialogues is in the way they make democracy, is in the way they demonstrate democracy in action. Where communities gather to interact directly with those who offer to represent them, they see contestants sharing a platform, sitting next to each other, being cordial, speaking in turns with no insults, no intemperate language, and no threats of violence. The dialogue demonstrates the core principle of contest of ideas that underpin true democracy. It is so important that citizens, especially young people, witness this to reinforce the understanding that the negative elements like insults and violence have no place in a democracy. Regrettably, some parliamentary candidates of the major political parties have refused to participate in the dialogue, citing a plethora of excuses, and this is unfortunate. The NCCE is urging all political parties to ensure that their parliamentary candidates actively participate in the dialogues. It is also an opportunity to highlight the policies of the parties. The dialogues provide a crucial platform for candidates to engage directly with their constituents, addressing key issues and indicating priorities. We reiterate the call on all political parties to demonstrate their commitment to deepening Ghana's democracy by ensuring that their candidates freely engage in these debates, which serve as a vital tool for encouraging political dialogue, civic engagement, and the peaceful conduct of elections. Now to other activities that we are currently undertaking for this election season. Interfaith dialogues through fun games and peace walks. To further promote peace, harmony, and unity, the NCCE is collaborating with faith-based institutions and organizations across the country to host interfaith dialogues through visits to churches, mosques, recreational activities such as football matches and peace walks. These events bring together individuals from diverse religious backgrounds to foster understanding and cooperation. Through these engagements, the NCCE encourages citizens to embrace peaceful coexistence and reject all forms of violence during the election period. The interfaith initiatives emphasize that peace is a collective responsibility and that religious leaders and their congregations play a pivotal role in maintaining stability in the country. We are also undertaking political party youth activist forums. Recognizing the crucial role that young people play in the electoral process, we are carrying out political party youth activist forums across the country. These forums are aimed at sensitizing young political activists on the importance of peaceful participation in the democratic process. The forums provide a platform for dialogue on how young people can actively contribute to peaceful elections while avoiding violence and inflammatory rhetoric. The NCCE continues to work closely with young people and youth groups to build a culture of peace and tolerance. Mobile announcements. We are currently utilizing mobile vans, public address systems to make announcements in various communities across the country. These mobile announcements focused on educating citizens on the importance of peaceful elections, voter participation, and adherence to electoral laws. Human Billboard Campaign. In a creative approach to civic education, NCCE staff and volunteers act as human billboards, wearing and holding placards with messages that advocate for peace, nonviolence, and active civic participation. These messages are displayed in public spaces such as markets, streets, community centers to capture the attention of passerbys and stimulate discussions on the need for peaceful election and responsible citizenship. Dance for Peace campaign. The NCC has incorporated dance into its public education efforts, using dance as a means of drawing people together in unity and harmony. Dance events are organized in communities to attract a wide audience, especially young people, while also delivering key messages on peace building, tolerance, and respect for diversity during the election period. These dance sessions not only promote a fun, communal atmosphere, but also serve as an innovative platform for fostering dialogue on civic responsibility and peaceful coexistence. So you will be seeing our viral dance videos online in the coming days. And when you see them, please share, like, comment, and interact with us on social media. One more thing I'd like to say about the dialogues, the parliamentary dialogues, are that these dialogues are organized on the taxpayers' money, the money that we receive from government to work. And so it's actually unfortunate when candidates decide not to participate. It amounts to a waste. So again, we are imploring the parliamentary candidates and the political parties to ensure that these activities, particularly the dialogues for the parliamentary candidates in the constituencies, are utilized so that democracy is deepened in our country. In all of this, we are still highlighting the 4 key areas of education that we have maintained consistent over the course of 2024 election year. We are still highlighting issues around money in politics, monetization of politics. We are highlighting issues around fake news, misinformation, hate speech, and all of that. We are still highlighting religious and ethnic tolerance, as well as continuously talking about the need to eschew violence and intemperate language and insults from our political culture. In conclusion, the 2024 Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues and other activities of the Commission mark a critical step towards ensuring free, fair, and peaceful elections in Ghana. We commend all political party candidates, civil society organizations, and the media for their support and participation in these dialogues. We are giving special thanks to Oiripa FM and TV in Ashanti region, Swiss FM and Hills FM in Volta region, and Radio Aga in Greater Accra region for giving free live coverage to some of the parliamentary dialogues in selected constituencies. We call on other media houses to emulate the benevolence of these radio and TV stations, and also partner with NCCE to broadcast the events live across their platforms. Despite the challenges that we face, we remain committed to promoting issue-based campaigns and fostering peace and encouraging the active participation of citizens in governance and the electoral process. The NCCE will continue to work tirelessly to ensure that every voter is well informed, every candidate is heard, and every election is peaceful. We call on all Ghanaians to actively support us and participate in this process as we work together to build a stronger, more united democracy. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll moderate it. Please, we are open for questions, and feel free to ask. We'll take a few questions, and then we can close the press conference.
Please, if you have any question, mention your media house and bring out your question. The name and the media house you are representing. Yeah.
My name is Joseph Armstrong. I work with TV3. First question is about the education beyond Accra.
Okay.
I personally get calls from rural communities telling me the challenges they are faced with in terms of transportation, logistics, and other things they use in their communications. They've not gotten any. And they see in Accra that I do a lot for the NCCE in Accra. Accra has everything. Why are we not coming to help them at their end? The question I want to ask is, are NCCEs in the various rural communities well resourced to ensure that the communicate out to send across, they are doing it just as you are doing it in Accra? That's the first question I'll come back. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm going to answer that question last. So I'll take all the other questions and then I'll come to that.
My name is Prince Kwame Kudu. I report for Authorities. My question is about education also. But education in terms of money and politics. What are increasing it? And we see across the country projects being commissioned, some are not even completed to be used, and they are being commissioned. What are the education? What are behind those projects that are being commissioned? And what's the education that the NCCE is putting out across? That voting is not about who bids more or who has money to buy the vote, but who are really ready to vote. What's the education? Of course, the NCCE worried about the fact.
Okay, so please, we have mentioned already that one of the issues that we are actively talking about is money in politics. We are educating people to give some thought to this culture that has crept into that has crept into our political culture, and to think about the negative effects of that. That education is going on. You have followed us every time we meet. We talk about that, and it's not just in Accra. We have district offices in every district and every region, and we've just indicated the activities that are going on across the country. Apart from the dialogues that we are here to talk about. So that education is actively going on now.
My name is Samuel from Channel 1 TV. So I want to find out, beyond the community engagement, do you have a targeted campaign for persons who are saying, look, I'm not going to cast my vote in the elections because I've voted several times and I'm not seeing any benefits? Do you have a targeted campaign for such persons?
Thank you very much. Actually, from the research that we conducted in matters of concern, people do want to vote. Everything from our history has indicated that Ghanaians will turn out to vote. So far, over the course of the Fourth Republic, we have consistently maintained around 70% voter turnout for the major presidential and parliamentary elections. So people, we actively engage people and encourage people to go and vote. You see, even some of the T-shirts we are wearing, there are messages around going out to vote. But Ghanaians are really enthusiastic about the political choices we make. And I have every confidence that they will go out and vote. I am sure that this year we will meet the 70% target that we've had over the years. It's not a target, but it's a turnout. The 70% turnout that we've had, I'm pretty sure we'll meet it or very close to it, or even exceed it this year. but with the education on the voter education on ensuring that people go out to vote is still ongoing.
My name is Benjamin from Arise for Ghana. Yesterday we were at Iowa North to cover the dialogue, and during the course of the dialogue, there was a misunderstanding between the two supporters of the two major parties. The exercise was suspended for about 30 minutes before we restarted. What steps are the Commission taking to ensure that such issues will not happen in the subsequent events?
Thank you very much. The whole idea of holding the dialogue is to ensure that, or to help people understand that political party campaigning need not be a fight. Like I mentioned in the address, it is great for people to see their candidates sitting with their opposite candidates on the same platform, having a discussion, demonstrating good behavior. It's very important. But in an exercise like this, there's always bound to be things that go out of line. The important thing is that once things go out of line, we resolve it and we come back to the table. It's not the end of the world. Misunderstandings happen all the time, even in families, even with your siblings, you can have misunderstandings. So misunderstanding between political parties is not an indicator of something terrible. It's just a problem that needs to be solved. So when it happens, we solve the problem, we learn our lessons, and we move on. So as happens there, we will learn the lessons, and if there's anything that comes up that maybe the rest of the constituencies need to take note of to avoid that problem, we will share that information with them. But the important thing is that it doesn't bring anything to an end. The work still goes on, the dialogue still goes on.
Okay, and so my name is Melissa Ote, and I report for GBC Television. My question is, what is the role of citizens to perform, to make this mission, the dialogue mission, a success? And also, has the NCCE targeted secondary schools, that is SHS students, because the youth are there, they can easily be brainstormed by any political party.
What was the first question? Sorry.
The mission, what is the role of citizens?
Okay, all right.
Success?
That's actually a very important question, because citizens are central to the work that we do. Civic education is a shared responsibility. NCCE has a mandate to lead civic education in Ghana. But if we want our country to succeed, if we want the democracy to work, if we want our society to thrive, then all citizens must participate in civic education, in educating ourselves, educating each other. Because think about it, even though NCCE is decentralized and have staff in every district, there's no way we can personally engage every citizen of Ghana. We engage a lot of people, but we cannot engage everybody. So the ones we engage, we encourage to also go out there and share the messages that they have seen or they have heard from us. We also encourage people to patronize our social media pages to get regular updates on what as citizens we are all supposed to be doing to help our country move forward.
And also with the secondary school,
I'll give that to program director as well.
Thank you very much. I think if, in some of the dialogues that we have, it's so inclusive that students in secondary school and even in some tertiary institutions are participants. Beyond that, one of the structures that we use for education is our civic education clubs in schools. So we are creating the role of students and young persons, right? The role that they have to play in ensuring a successful election in the CECs that we have in the schools.
My name is Ethel Campos from Metro TV. Over the years, we record high numbers of rejected ballot papers. And the NCCE is taking notice of this and has it considered maybe going into educating people on rejected ballots? Thank you.
Thank you. On the issue of rejected ballots, yes, we have a role to play, but it's not directly our responsibility. It's not the direct responsibility of the NCC. We only have to support the Electoral Commission.
do that because it's technical. They have designed what they expect from the elective. And once we partner them and we go into the education, we are able to reduce the rejected ballots. And that's what we do.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Rompa. I work with Anum TV and Anum FM. My question is about incumbency abuse. There's this report by Kudeo, which is worried about the way incumbency is being abused every now and then when there is an election. I want to find out from NCCE. Is NCCE worried about it? And if so, is NCCE planning to put any law or is advocating for law to be in place so that we help curb incumbency abuse?
Thank you very much. Honestly, today our press conference is on our own activities. What we are doing, we have a mandate, we have been given a task, we have a whole plate full of things that we need to do as an institution. Our mandate is very clear. All you have to do is go to chapter 19 of the Constitution, and you see the mandate there very clearly. And we stick to our mandate. There are other institutions supposed to do other things in this country. It's not every day that is the part of the mandate of the NCC. So even with our large mandate, we are not covering everything today. Today we are focusing on our parliamentary dialogues and encouraging candidates to participate. That's the focus for today. Thank you.
All right, Joseph Armstrong, I'm back once again. My first question has already answered yes.
I know, I'll get to it.
But this time around, I want to ask some practical questions, madam. So first of all, is about persons with disability. We are yet to see any rigorous training for them ahead of the elections. Other question. Madam, I was invited for the dialogue at Abedma West. That was last week, Friday. Unfortunately, I got there and the big political parties, like you said, they said they will not partake. Hence, that was called off. A lot of money was spent, as you also mentioned. How much have we, as a commission, earmarked for such dialogues? How much have we so far spent? And these are big political parties are refusing to partake. How much is it costing the state as it stands right now? And basically, this question is which I'm guessing.
Thank you very much. It's costing the state a lot. And that's why we are part of the reason why we are holding this press conference to encourage everyone to participate. I can't mention a number right now because I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's definitely costing the state a lot. Not the state actually, the taxpayer.
Thank you. On the issue about persons with disability, I think what we strategically do for every concept that we send out, for example, if we are doing our IPDC meeting, there are specific, directives to our districts to ensure their participation. Beyond that, we hold targeted education for persons with disability. For example, I think a couple of weeks ago in Accra here, right, we met persons with disability collaboratively with the Electoral Commission to take them through voting procedures, right? So if there are special ballot papers, how do they go about it? We do so, across the country. Our major target, right, in ensuring inclusiveness is really persons with disability, and we also make effort to ensure female participation and other marginalized groups in the activities that we do.
Any more questions?
This is my very last question. So this question is something that has been, is something we've been speaking about since you started this campaign. It's about the fact that politicians go on the podium and they keep talking about, I belong to this religious group, I belong to that religious group, and you have spoken vehemently against it. But it appears your campaign is not going down well to some of these politicians that keep saying that don't vote for this party because they hate your religion. Madam, here on the national platform, tell us, what should be done to some of these politicians that goes about making such comments against the other political parties? Thank you.
I always remind everybody that citizens have agency, and part of our drive is to ensure that citizens are well informed and are able to make decisions based on criteria that actually works in their interest. So we, like I said, we do public education, and the public education is targeted to everybody, including citizens. Just because somebody is sitting somewhere saying that vote on the basis of religion or ethnicity doesn't mean that you should do it. And that is the point of the education that we undertake. Because the education is supposed to empower citizens to make good decisions that work in their own interest. So we educate all citizens, including politicians. If politicians decide not to listen to the education, well, citizens will decide to work based on the education that they receive. And the net effect will be the same. In fact, if the citizens stop rewarding behavior that is negative for us as a society by continuing to listen to directions from power seekers that do not inure to their benefit, then we'll continue to have a problem. But as long as we continue to educate citizens and empower them with knowledge, it's going to be okay. Because once they stop rewarding politicians who do these things with votes, then the habits will change.
Someone here once again. I know you've spoken about vote buying, but then I want you to paint a picture to us on if vote buying is allowed in Albanian politics, the dire consequences. Because some people might have heard about it, but they feel like, if someone has given me money to go and vote, I mean, there's nothing. I'll take the money and still go and vote. So paint a picture of the dire consequences of allowing vote buying to enter fully into Albanian politics.
Thank you. When you said paint a picture, I panicked for a minute. Because I don't have paint here. I don't have paper. But this is a very important issue and a good question. Yes, we talked about money in politics, and the thrust of our argument when we engage people on this topic is that everybody should pause and ask themselves a couple of questions. The first one being, where is the money coming from? The fact that somebody is sharing money, the first reaction should not be gleefully going to get your share. We should ask ourselves as citizens that where is the money from? Because again, I have repeated so many times over the course of this year and even last year that there is no free money anywhere. Wherever the money is coming from is going to go back with interest. And ultimately, we the citizens will pay the bitter price in the form of truncated development. Because if we elect people who have gone and acquired debt to come and share the money for us so that they win the election, once they win, their focus will not be on the mandate, their focus will not be on doing what they are supposed to do for the people, their focus will be on going out there, find a way to recoup the money, go and pay back wherever they got it from, and then going to get more money for the next round. And so it works against our interest to continue to support this culture of money sharing and monetization in political campaigns and elections. Secondly, I always also say that there's no free money anywhere, which is true, but there's a lot of bad money available for those who want to make use of it. And again, if you think that somebody going to get bad money or dark money from some place and come to share is none of your business, you have to think about where that money also comes from. It comes from possibly drug dealing, human trafficking, organ trafficking, gun running, and all these negative things that we don't want to have any involvement with in our society. If politicians go and take this money and come and share it here, that means that as a country we now have a relationship with people who are participating in organized crime. And the consequences for that are also dire. So please, let's be mindful of all the money sharing that is going on. If you say, well, I'm just taking my share, it's not a big deal. Remember that if everybody takes their share, it becomes a very big deal, because then it amounts to a lot of money. Research indicates that for parliamentary primaries, candidates need to raise $200,000 to $250,000 minimum to be able to execute successfully a parliamentary primary. And most of that money is just money that is being shared to citizens. So we have a role to play in this issue to ensure that that culture is expunged from our political culture, and that we rather build strong democratic roots and set rigorous criteria for those who seek power, so that when they come, they will be able to deliver for us.
Now, if there is no giving, there is no taking. Aren't you worried that those who are giving? So, Madam, please here for it's good that if there is no giving, there is no taking. Those who are giving, aren't you going to push, or should we be pushing for private punishment or tough punishment for those who are maybe giving money, and those who are selling their votes in the elections?
Of course, wherever people undertake legal activities, it is up to law enforcement to ensure that they are properly checked, that they face the full rigor of the law, that they are arrested and taken through the legal system. Again, that is not part of our work here. Of course, we encourage law enforcement to do their work, but I'm sure they are already doing it. Our work is public education, and that's what we are here for.
Okay. Any other questions? If they are done, one of them says special appeal that if you address them.
Oh, yes. What was the question again? Resources. I mean, first of all, I will encourage all of you to please try and patronize our social media handles. When you go and look at our social media handles, you will see that in every district there are currently activities going on for the elections. And so this question, I don't know how to answer it, because the activities are ongoing. There are not more activities in Accra compared to other areas of the country. The only thing is that I run into you a lot personally, and every time I run into you, we do an interview. So maybe you think that this is where all the action is. Actually, here at headquarters, we don't do half of the work that is done in the districts and the regions. So to answer your question, work is going on, you can check, work is going on across the country, even as we work towards peaceful and successful elections. Thank you.
Madam, please, we request that you address us in accounts, because we have account the whole thing. Summary.
Next time I'll write in question and answer, please, because I can't. So if you ask the questions, or maybe after, you can set aside and ask the questions, please. I didn't prepare for that.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the issue of language. My name is Joshua South. I represent the The issue of language is a problem.
You represent
the news.
Oh, okay.
So the issue of language is a problem when communicating with somebody. You keep mentioning that you do work for education via social media. I know when you go to various places and districts, you use most of their local dialects there to communicate with them. But on your social media, do you do the same, or is just with your phone and sometimes you?
Okay, so the real bulk of the work of NCCE happens in communities. That's where the bulk of the work happens. NCCE is a grassroots organization, so we work at the grassroots. Hamlet to hamlet, village to village, farm to farm, that sort of thing, right? And in those areas where it's most critical, we use the local language to do the work. On social media, we mostly use English, yes, but that is responding to the demographics of the people who also use social media. So we are not just deploying our different resources, but we are deploying it in a targeted way to ensure that we have the maximum impact. So where it matters most, which is in the communities, where we meet people on a daily basis, where we talk to people in markets, on their farms, where we talk to trade associations, when we speak in places of worship, in those places where it's most critical, we do so in the local language. For the social media, especially when it comes to audio and audiovisuals and that sort of thing, yes, we will do some of it in the local language, but for the most part, it's English.
Thank you, Madam. I think we don't have any more questions. So at this point, I will humbly invite our Deputy Chairman in charge of operations, Mr. Samuel Asari Kwama, to give us a closing remarks.
Thank you, Richard. Let me stand up. Madam Chair, I want to in closing the press conference that the media should have the commission to erase this impression that the commission is actively involved in work, involved in the delivery of its mandate when it comes to elections. Beyond elections, we do a lot. To help us, the gentleman who asked a question about what is new outside Accra, if we take much more interest beyond elections in what we do in the field, you are going to get a lot of stories, especially the human interest and the environmental stories. So please help us to erase this. We believe that as we close this press conference, we are going to pick all that Madam Chair has given out to us, the most beneficial information, not the one which is going to weigh down all the good things that she has given to us here. That is the appeal in closing. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kwama. So, ladies and gentlemen from the media, on behalf of the commission once again, we want to thank you so much for passing through this morning. And we hope to get to know more from what has transpired here based on the facts and what has been communicated here. So we thank you so much, Madam Chair, Deputy Chairman, Commission Secretary, Line Directors and staff. We thank you all for making this program a success. I'll humbly once again call on the only Alhaji in the house to give us a closing prayer. Dr. Emmanuel, please.
Allah, we thank you for the wisdom and the guidance that you've given to our chairperson to deliver this important press statement. As we leave here, we also seek your guidance so that our journalists will go and broadcast things that will be beneficial to the populace. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen.
Amen. Please, Madam is available for interviews. Either in she or yes, she.
After the English, we don't have it.
If you want to follow our questions, Madam is available to answer. Thank you.